Hello, my name is Barbara Badolati, and I am Energy in Motion, and so are all of you. Do you want to declare that? Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you to stretch your imagination, although some of you maybe live in the dream, so maybe not so much of a stretch. I'd like you to imagine sleeping well all night long and waking up in the morning feeling really refreshed and joyful and ready to be in your groove all day long, whatever that is. Maybe it's a fulfilling job or a nurturing relationship or a loving home. Doesn't really matter, but you're just in your groove, and then you're ready to go to sleep at night and have another peaceful sleep. How many of you have that experience? Well, we know from all these fantastic TED Talks that there's so much going on out there and so many great things happening, and yet it's really important for us to be energized and living our dream as much as possible so that we can continue to do those great things that are happening out there in the world and really contribute. So let me ask you another question. What would happen, or how would you live your life if you were born knowing that you had an energy bank, and that bank was available and you could make withdrawals and deposits all day long, every day for the rest of your life until you were ready to close your account? How would you live your life differently? So let's go back to the beginning. You were born. And by the way, I will be recycling, reusing this paper when we're done. Thank you so much. So you were born. I'm going to spin this around just a tad. There we go. Great. And you were the center of the universe. You were pure joy. You were love. You didn't have any judgment. I mean, you weren't saying, oh my gosh, my thighs are too fat. Or that dude next to me, he's got hair and I don't. You weren't doing any of that. You were just joyful. And you had these different components of yourself. You had a body. And we've learned so much about that body and all the things that it does. And some people got some deposits in there more than others. Doesn't really matter. Just knowing that you did. Hopefully you had loving touch and you were fed and you were clothed and bathed. You slept when you were tired. You were able to use your body in ways that felt good just naturally. And then you also had lots of emotions, and you were able to express your emotions, right? You cried when you were upset. You screamed, you laughed, and hopefully you were free to express those emotions. And depending on who was in the room and what the situation was, that may have varied. And then, of course, your brain. And those neurons were firing, all things were happening. You were inducting, deducting, and music and images and colors. All different things were helping you to develop that brain. You were also born with an intuition. And that intuition is that little teeny voice that knows what's best for you, that really helps you to stay on your path, your purpose, that's unique to yourself. It's that gut feeling. It's that part of you that knows without knowing how you know, but somehow you know. And so when we were born, we were fully all of those things, all those aspects of ourselves, all those little bank branches, if you will, that we are able to make deposits into and hopefully continue to. But as we continue to be on this planet, we have to also have withdrawals, right? The other thing that I believe is that we have a spirit. And that spirit actually seeks to express itself through us in many, many different ways. The word spirit is derived from the Latin word spiritus, which means breath. And the first thing that you did when you were born was take a breath in. And the last thing you do when you decide to close your account is exhale. So guess what way you can energize yourself? The simplest way that you can energize yourself is to breathe. We use about 1/7 of our lung capacity. And so in the afternoon, when you're kind of tired, you might think you want a candy bar or some caffeine, but maybe you just need some oxygen. And I believe that the best way that we can take what we're learning and apply it is by actually experiencing it. So right now, just notice how you're breathing. How deep is the breath? How smooth is your breath? Does it go deep into your lower lobes of the lungs? Do you have some tension? What else are you noticing? So let's breathe. This is an opportunity for you to deposit into your account right now. And if you want, you could even stand. That's like a bonus. I'd have you go outside, which is even greater because you get some fresh air, but I want you to stay here. So if you would, put your hand on your belly. Yeah, exactly. And just notice your breathing right now and see if you can allow the diaphragm, which is the strong horizontal muscle that lays right here, to allow your belly to expand. Good. And what happens a lot is that in our society we were told to hold in our stomach, or maybe we're just so stressed that we forget to breathe. So see if you can let your belly go out and your belly gently sink in. And then see if you can also breathe through your nostrils with that. So breathe in, I can see you, and breathe out. And when you breathe through your nostrils, it elicits the parasympathetic nervous system. And I have people all the time in my yoga classes who say, I forgot to breathe. Thank you for reminding me to breathe. And one of the things that we teach in yoga is to breathe through your nostrils. So I want you to continue to practice this in your day so you can continue to make deposits. It will refresh your brain. It will calm your emotions. It'll restore your body. And so much of what we've heard through the TED Talks is listening. And so when you can breathe just 3 diaphragmatic breaths, you're going to allow yourself to calm down a little bit and quiet yourself so that you can listen to that small voice within you that can continue to guide you to the best person through that spirit that you are meant to be. So breathing through your nostrils, deep breath will really help with that. Another definition for spirit is an animated force or a vital principle held to give life to a physical organism. So you are this unique being. You are meant to express yourself in your unique way. The world needs that as much as possible. And that is where depositing into your energy account is so vital. And so why don't we do that? It really gets down to one thing: valuing it. Valuing your unique expression. Valuing depositing into your different accounts so that you can continue to be all that you're meant to be able to listen to your intuition. All of those things really make a difference. So there's 2 ways that you can do that really, really easily. One way we just did, and that was awareness, when I asked you to just notice. So just heightening your awareness will make a difference, because then your awareness allows you to do the second thing, which is to make choices. And there's a lot of influences on your choices, right? Your spouse, or your home, or your job, or maybe you didn't sleep well and you do want a cup of coffee, even though it maybe depletes your energy account. And that happens. Every day we're making choices, and we're making the best choices we can. But the more we value ourselves and that spirit being expressed, and the more awareness that we have, the better choices we can make. So you ready to make another deposit? Okay. So I invite you to stand, because that's, again, a bonus deposit that you can make. And as you inhale, lace your fingers together and take your arms up overhead. Breathe in. And then lean over to your neighbor. Maybe look at them. Thank them over there for being here. Good. Lean the other way. Keep breathing. Exhale. Oh, gosh, you guys look awesome. Wonderful. And then just place your hands on your back of your head and just lean back like you're catching some rays. Open up your chest, your heart. Good. Breathe in. And as you exhale, place your hand on the back of your neighbor and just pat them on the back, even if it's energetically. Maybe they're too far away. Say, thank you very much for being here. Really, really appreciate. Good job. Exactly. Good. Then give your hand. Do your own little champion. Good job. Excellent. Good. You feel more energized? Yeah, that took like 10 seconds. So you just made a deposit. Thank you so much for that. So you're welcome. Exactly. The best of who you are is what the world needs. And all these TED Talks, there's so many amazing things that are happening in the world. And so the world needs you to be the best that you can be. I honor you. I honor your beauty and your truth. I appreciate you. I respect you. I validate you. And when we're all doing that with one another and valuing ourselves, that is how we will make that change, be the change that you wish to see. Namaste. Thank you.